Hello guys, thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I want to show you this look, which is a very dramatic, colorful, smoky, va-va-voom kind of look, and this is exactly what I wanted. Today I felt like, doing something very extra, and yeah, let's start. Without no further ado, let's jump into the look. Starting with the eyes, I'm going to apply first a eye primer, which is going to help with the longevity of my makeup, and this is the Soft Ochre from MAC. You already know how much I like this, and I'm not going to overreact. I'm just going to apply a thin layer of this with my fingers, and then I'm ready for the next step. So for this eye look, I'm going to take the Remastered Rose Gold palette from Huda Beauty, and this eyeshadow is the first one I'm going to dig into, and the application is going to be, as always, layered down. So the first layer I'm applying is mainly on the outer corners, but then I'm going to intensify this and go gradually towards the inner part of my eye, towards the nose, and it's going to be an intense look. So this is not for the faint-hearted, but in the end it's going to be a pretty dramatic smoky eye for like special event or anything like that. And bear with me, because I know at first it looks a bit strange maybe, because I don't have any base, and also I will have a bit of drop down, but we are going to clean that up. Everything is going to be very neat and pretty, as I've said. So as you can see, I'm still at the same stage, but I'm reapplying the same eyeshadow until I'm happy with the intensity of it. I'm always looking for creating that nice gradient as you go towards the brow, towards the brows in general, and this look is a smoky one, so it should look like that, not like a graphic one, so no harsh lines are accepted. Then I'm taking, as you can see, the next eyeshadow, a very pretty matte brown, which is like a few shades darker than the first one, on the warm side as well, and I'm applying this with the same brush from Rio Techniques, but I'm keeping it more concentrated on the inner part of the all I did, and actually it's the same application, but I'm not going so far upwards towards the brow bone. Now I'm going to dramatize this look even more by applying the black, and always, when you apply a black eyeshadow, the look is going to be very intense, and this is what I'm looking for. I want that very, very intense gaze, when looking straight ahead. So I'm applying this eyeshadow on the outer corners, as you can see, but also I'm going to go inwards as well, so that the whole look looks tight together, and I'm not going to make it so intense as I go towards the nose, towards the inner part of my eye, but the main application, the main concentration of this eyeshadow is going to be on the outer part. Now the key to create that nice gradient, especially for such an intense look when using also black, you want to hold the brush at the top end. You don't want to put too much pressure on the brush, so that's why you want to have a light hand. Keep the most intensity of the color at the base, as close to the eye as possible, and then go feather-like upwards, and that's going to help so much with the transition between the colors, and with the gradient that I'm always talking about. So now I'm finished with the matte eyeshadows, at least for the top part, and I'm taking a very metallic eyeshadow, which is like gold or like yellow, like the sun, like the summer, I don't know. Anyway, you understand what I mean. This eyeshadow is very pretty, and I want the application of it to be this way and not the other. I don't want a very defined graphic cut crease. I want that line to be a bit blurred out as it goes into the darker eyeshadows. Oh, and I'm also applying it very intense on the inner part. There's like the most intensity of it, and it goes more diffused upwards and outwards. Then I'm taking a blue eyeliner, which is from Manhattan. They are waterproof, and I think they last a long time on the eyes. This is like a sky blue color, and I'm applying it quite heavily on the lower part, so on the lower lash line. But then I thought, yeah, maybe this is a bit too intense, too thick. And so I took a wipe and I wiped away from that thickness, and I went further and I wiped all the way through to the temples, and thus created a very sharp edge there on the outer part of the eye look. And you already know, if you followed me for a while, you know that I love those kind of looks. I love this very Arab sort of inspired look. I find that to be very sultry and sexy. This option is definitely one of my favorites. I like to start with the eyes for this reason, because I can wipe away any of the fallout. Of course, you can do this kind of look with like tape, or if you do your base first with concealer, but I find that to be not so clean. I mean, you do have that fallout, and if you just cover that with concealer, it's just going to be very thick and a bit dirty, to be honest. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. I like a very clean under eye area, and I like to put as less as possible concealer and foundation and, you know, the whole base. So I'm finished with the eyeshadows. I'm going to move on to mascara, which is from Estee Lauder, the Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara. This is a long name, and this is in extreme black. I do love this one. I love the formula of it. The wand of it, I find to be a bit too long, but you know, that's just a personal preference or opinion. And I'm putting lots of this, although I am going to put false lashes on top because I find this look requires falsies. And I'm going to use from Flutter Lashes my favorites. They are intoxicating. They are so fluffy and long, and they are so good quality. I've used those so many times. This exact pair, I don't know if this is the last time I can use them. I will see, but I do take care of my lashes because that's required if you do want to use them multiple times. By the way, I forgot to tell you, but I'm telling you now, I put along the lower lash line that blue because I wanted it to be a base, a cool toned base for the pink I put on top. It made the pink pop so much more, and that was the reasoning. But the same blue I'm putting now into my waterline because I want this look to be a bit different, and I find the cool toned lower part and the warm toned upper part to be maybe a bit strange, but definitely a happy combination. I do love how it turned out. And then I moved on to the base. I used first a face serum from La Roche-Posay. It's one of my favorites, and then I used foundation, which is the Healthy Mix, not the Healthy Mix serum, the Healthy Mix foundation from Bourjois. It's in the shade 20, I think. And I apply this with the brush, and I buffed it really good into my skin. This blends like a dream. It has like a medium coverage, but you can build it up to a like plus medium coverage. It's not drying, but it's also not greasy, so you might love it if you do have normal to dry skin. And it doesn't oxidize. I think this is a very good everyday foundation if you don't have, you know, problems on the skin. If you do want more coverage than this, you might not like it. And anyway, then I moved on to concealer, which I used sparingly. I don't like to put too much concealer, and I buffed that bit of concealer with the brush, which is actually for powders, but I saw Hindash using this brush for buffing out concealer, and I think this is a great idea. I do love how it works. And then I put a bit of powder mainly on the T-zone because I get, you know, oily there, and the rest what's left on the brush, you know, for the rest of my face. I'm using here the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC20. This has lots of coverage because it's foundation actually, so be aware of that. If you don't need too much, then, you know, put less. And then I moved on to the bronzer, which is from Burberry in Nude Glow, the number 3. It's a natural bronzer. I love how this color looks on my skin tone. It's not very dark and not very warm. I mean, it's of course on the warmer side because it's a bronzer, but it's not that orangey kind of tone that I can't use. And yeah, I applied it how I normally do apply it, on the cheekbones, and I like to work this very good into my foundation. I don't like to see any stripes, I don't like to see any edges, so I'm blending this as good as I can. And I'm also putting this on the sides of my forehead, so on the very edges of my forehead. I don't want to make my forehead look smaller or narrower than it already is, but I do want to have a bit of balance, so that's why I am putting a bit of that color there as well. So not only on my cheekbones, on my cheeks, or my nose or jawline, but on the forehead as well for balance. Nothing else. So this is the application technique for my face shape of the bronzer, and then I'm taking a Shimmer Brick Compact from Bobbi Brown, which is in gold. This is a highlighter. It's such a pretty one, but very shimmery, so be aware. It can go wrong really quickly. If you don't like your highlighter very intense, then be careful, use a light hand. Then I moved on to the blusher. It's from MAC, it's in Love Thing, and I applied it on the cheeks as I normally do, and I swiped it upwards and outwards how I usually do apply it. And be careful, this is very pigmented, and yeah, if you don't want to pick too much, then again, a light hand. And then I use this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a Pro palette, and I took taupe to do my brows, to fill in any gaps. And then on top I went with a brow gel, which is from L'Oreal in medium dark, and I love this one because it's very good, and yeah, the price point better than the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the ones they have, and it does have those fiber things in it, and it plumps up the brows and it sets them also very nicely, and it also covers the gaps. If you've missed anything with the powder, then this is going to cover everything because it does have that color in it, and it's beautiful. I do love the product. I'm using it every day. For tight lining, I'm using then a tattoo liner from Maybelline in Deep Onyx. This works amazing. I really do like it. And then on the bottom lashes, I'm always putting, of course, from MAC, Extended Play Mascara, which is waterproof. This doesn't budge and doesn't go anywhere, and you already know that. I don't have to say anything about this product. I love the wand of it as well. I mean, everything is perfect, but the price. It costs about 20 euros here in Germany. It could be a bit less, and yeah, then it would be perfect. But nonetheless, I'm going to buy it and use it further because I do love it. I adore it. And then on the lips, I am going to put a lip liner. And if you're not new on my channel, then you already know that this is from Essence. It's the lovely Frappuccino. I love the lip liners from Essence, but mostly this one. I love the color of it. I find this a very pretty nude, and for this look, it's absolutely gorgeousissimo. And then on top, I'm going to put a lipstick, which is from MAC in Pure Zen, and I love this combination. I'm using it a lot off camera as well. I just wanted to show you how pretty this looks, and especially paired with the look, with the eye look. Yeah, I think I like it. What do you say? Do you like it? I hope that you do. And now in the end, I just want to say, please stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope I'm gonna see you soon. So darlings, I really do hope you like the look as always, and if you did, it's very important to me to see a thumbs up. And also, don't go before you subscribe here to my channel if you haven't already, of course, and thank you if you have. And also go follow me on my social, Instagram, Facebook and VERO, and give me your feedback. What do you think about my looks? What should I do in the future? Whatever you would like to tell me. So stay safe until next time.